skiing, riding, sledding, winter biking, winter hiking.
No matter how you Vermont, please Vermont safely.
Cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, snowman building.
This year, that means a 7-day home quarantine with a negative COVID-19 test or a 14-day home quarantine with no symptoms to visit.
Snowball fighting, ice skating, ice climbing, ice fishing, ice cream eating.
So we can all Vermont safely this year.
Dining, craft beering.
Talk to your favorite inner resort about smart travel suggestions, reservation policies, and the best way to Vermont this winter.
Hot cocoaing, antiquing, shopping, fireside napping.
For full COVID-19 travel guidance, visit VermontVacation.com.
Buying a used truck can be full of unknowns, but at Penske, we know trucks. Our expert sales team can help you find the right used vehicle to meet your business needs. Plus, at Penske, buying is easy with financing, insurance, and warranty programs available. Leave the unknowns behind and buy with confidence. View Penske's entire inventory, current deals, manager specials, and used truck center locations at PenskeUsedTrucks.com.
What's going on? You are tuned into the Cigars with Mac podcast. Today we got we're on our third podcast, people. Hey, I'm loving it. And I just looked at the podcast and I see this is episode 51. So I'm happy. I'm finally, putting these podcasts in. But today we're gonna talk about how soon is too soon to have sex, and I have two wonderful, illustrious guests, and I want to get their opinion on it, because they're both single. I am not single, as you all know. I've been married for 14 years, and like I said, the times have changed. Like I talking to me and my family the day in the podcast, me and my special guest. And nowadays, most people are going to meet online. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, So, and they're out here. They're actually out here in the dating scene, and they can give us so much insight, because there are people who listen to this podcast who are married and who are both unmarried. So, I want people to hear both sides. I can tell you about the married side, but they can tell you how it is to be single out here. And, with no further ado, let's get started, y'all. So let's talk about it. How soon is too soon? Let's talk about it. What y'all think about that?
Well, me personally, coming from coming from, from an old base or old-fashioned base, and how your granny instills certain things in you. I don't know. I've always had, in my job, I've only been in 2 relationships, so it's always been time in between for me.
Yeah.
And that's because, like I say, I want to get the feel of you and get to know you outside of the sheets.
Okay.
And get to know, what you're all about. So if I'm giving you a part of me, I want to know if it's worth it, or if it's something is there something that I can hold on to or pursue or make it last, or, before just, because to me it's more than just a 15 minutes of pleasure.
Okay.
So but it varies per person,
Mm-hmm. What you think, D? Talk about it, bro.
It depends on the direction you're trying to take it. Because I've met women that even on the same night, they be like, okay, especially like in a club or something like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. But she's not looking for nothing serious. She just want to complete the night,
Yeah, finish the night off.
Yeah, just finish the night off, you know what I'm saying? So, I've done that. And then there's some that I've met that, it takes a little time, but that still don't guarantee that it's going to work.
True.
And I think that's a misconception, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Steve Harvey, in this book, he led all these women astray thinking that, you make her wait 3 months and it's for sure win. And it's not, because he may wait 3 months for you, but that don't mean that he's not doing something else within those 3 months for somebody else.
That's right.
That's true. But no, I ain't never said you had to wait 3 months now. But I'm just saying, just a little bit of time. But I don't know about the 3 months.
Yeah,
but, since I've been here, like I was telling you earlier in the other podcast, since I've been here in Dallas, I don't go nowhere, so I'm not in the public eye much, so it's not even guaranteed that I'll meet somebody,
True.
So I went ahead and gave the whole dating site thing a try. But everybody I meet, it's like, I meet you today, okay, and I'm kind of, y'all don't talk about me, but Courtney, but I mean, I'm sorry, but it's like I meet you right now, okay, and it's like, hey, and I'm like, hey, how you doing or whatever, let me get your number. Wait, what? I don't even know if you're peeing a bed or what. So I'm like, can we just converse a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Just kind of let me feel my way through to get to that point. And then you got some that's, we'll conversate for a while. And, I won't say a while. We'll conversate for like a day or two. And then after about the second day, we exchange numbers. And your first text is, so when can I come visit? But most cases it's like, I meet you today, I want to come see you today, or you come to my house today, or let's go get a room today or tomorrow or something. It's not even like a 48-hour period. And it's like, am I doing something wrong? Have I missed? Am I trapped in a time warp? Or, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay. Maybe it's just the fact that, this what they do and it's what they do up here, but, we don't do that back home. At least I didn't, but I don't know. And like I said, it could be just me.
Well, let me ask one question, because I've heard this a few times, and I want to ask the question that when a woman sees a man, meeting for the first time, do she know at that moment that she is going to sleep with him or not?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. And that was something my granny has always told me. Within the first 5 minutes that if you ever even kiss a man or lay down with him, let's know anything further than that, and that's true. It's so true.
Okay, so if you meet him and then you already put in your mind, hey, I know I'm asleep with him, right? So why not go ahead and get it over with the same day?
Because at the same time, if I see you right now and I see, okay, you look, appealing to me and I can sleep with you, this is what I'm feeling right now. But still give me a chance, like on that, like for instance, I met a guy. He was nice body, chocolate, like ice, all this good stuff. But then on down the line, I'm not gonna go into details, but on down the line, it really wasn't what it was set out to be.
Yeah.
How how they say first impression is last impression. Mm-hmm. The first impression was just that. Everything after that is like it got worse. It got worse. He was not, and not that finances matter to me, which you know that yourself. But he was not financially set. He didn't have a place to stay. He, he had and this is no lie and exaggeration, he had 18 children and 7 grandchildren. He had, what I'm saying? But he didn't tell me this until way on down the line after you done reeled me in and baited me. Well, I feel like you done reeled me in and baited me in. But then you spoke down on the fact that I got 7 children. I'm like, okay. So It started off, like I say, you can meet them and know that you can be intimate with them. I know this, and this is what I feel for right now, but still, give me some time to feel my way through.
True.
See, the man, he was straight up with you, you know what I'm saying? He was forthcoming, he told you the truth. Now, what if he would have just held that
He really
back?
didn't tell me the truth. I found out.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah, I found out. He didn't tell me at all. He didn't tell me at all. So it's like, you know, I eventually found out because he was just itching and dying for me to just, you know, follow. I mean, to, you know, send him a friend request on Facebook. And I don't be on Facebook like that. You know, I post inspirational stuff. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just, you know, and then when I went to look for him, it was like 7 different pages, you know, with the same pictures or pictures of him. I was like, oh, now which one do I send a friend request to? He was like, oh, do the one that got the such and such. I was like, you got 3 of them that got that picture on there. And he was like, well, I'm going to screenshot it to you. So he screenshotted and it had a different main, you know, the main photo, the big photo behind your main profile picture. So I was like, okay. So, but I was like, someone told me to go through all the other pictures. I mean, all the other profiles. And I did. And it's like him with like a bunch of boys, and then him with like a bunch of girls, and then him with like, I don't know. So I asked him, I was like, you must be a football coach. And I wasn't trying to be funny. I asked him, was he a coach?
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? I said, I see you with a lot of children. He was like, no, I forgot to tell you. No, they're my children. You forgot to tell me. And me, I'm the type of person, when I meet you, I did all I did so I can give you an option. Look, I got 7 children. They all got, you know, got the same dad. You know, I'm 40 years old, this, that, the third, whatever. And they give you a chance to pursue employees or not. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not the fact that he had children or the amount of children, but it just feel like it was, you know, and everything is like, it was stuff I was finding out along the way. Like, he was, and I'm like, if you hid your children, you'll hide everything else. But it was crazy. So, but yeah, and it's been other scenarios where I've met guys and, you know, and I felt like, okay, I can see myself, you know, and then it was stuff that came up, or 2 scenarios, I've had a fiance and a soon-to-be wife to reach out to me, and it's crazy, yeah, so that's why I like to give it some time in between, because one dude, I was caught up into this dude for like 3 months, and we had never met in person.
Yeah.
And his fiance reached out to me the Saturday before they was about to get married. They was due to be married the following weekend, and she reached out to me. So that's why I say, you know, I try to allow it some time in between. But if you're really open, if you're consistent, inconsistency is my biggest turn off, and lack of communication. But if you're consistent and communication is there, and you know what I'm saying, it'll cause me to open up more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't leave nothing out. When I'm trying to meet you, I don't leave nothing out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I think, and me from my perspective, I know when I was single, man, I was kind of used to smashing on a one night. I'm not gonna lie to you. So when the lady, the woman that I'm married, I said, when the woman I'm married to now didn't do that, it kind of was like, okay, I got to see, man, what the hell going on? Why I can't do this in one night? And mind you, I didn't wait no 90 days either. But you know, it didn't allow me, you know, it did not change my feelings for her, but also an older brother who like a brother to me told me, he said, man, you don't want to knock every girl on the first night. He said, that's the one you need to be trying to holler at right there. And I was like, okay. I said, okay, because, you know, I was just used to, you know, like my boy D say, you know, a lot of women out here give it up the first night, and that was years ago. So I think we live in a society now where a lot of people, and luckily you've been meeting men that have kind of been upfront with you, because a lot of dudes are kind of bullshit with you, knowing that their intent is to only have sex, or they want to have sex. So I think, and it's good that you also forthcoming. Like you said, you know, look, I got 7 kids by the same dude, so this is what you finna get. I'm gonna put it all out there. If you want to fool with me, fine. If not, but I'm laying it all out there, you know. So I think that at the end of the day, my thing is, I feel like I don't look at a woman as a whole if she give it up the first night. I'm gonna just say that. But a lot of cats out here do. Why? I don't know.
Yeah,
because
95% of it.
Yeah, like my boy D said, you can wait a year for a woman and she the biggest slut around. So I think, I'm kind of, and like I said, I'm out the dating game, but I kind of, I don't admonish women to give it up the first night. I'll just say that. What you think about that, D?
Man, I done met them on the first night or whatever, and sometimes, I just ask them, hey, what is it gonna take you to get Saturday? Right now.
You ask them what?
What is it gonna take you? What is it gonna take you to get Saturday? Right now.
Did you say a shot?
Yeah.
He said a shot. That goes back to Mr. Lennon. That sounds like one of the Mr. Lennon phases right there.
They might say this and that, whatever, like, or meet up with them like at, like IHOP or my favorite, Waffle House, back then. Oh, yeah, go sit in the booth with them, chop it up a little more. You know what I'm saying? Make him a grand slam or something, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I hear a lot of that too, even on the dating site. And they throw that out there like, I'll feed you, and then after that, I'm like, wow, skip on to the next one. I ain't hungry by 4 o'clock.
Well, but do that make them, I guess, what society might say a whole and stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Especially them days, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that was the norm, and it should go down there because it's music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying you do that with the money cats, but for me, you should be trying to get it up on the first night. You know what I'm saying? Don't miss your opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because I might not be in the mood to get it, a week from now. I might not, you might not be on my mind. So go ahead and get it right now while it's on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Don't say go ahead and treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. But, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying you get everybody that treats them, you know what I'm saying? I felt that like I was special at that time.
He said it like it was high commodity and the limited edition. I don't know, I guess, but you got some females that's okay with that. And you got some females that's all they looking for. I just never been able to, I've never been able to do it. I don't know why. I just never have. Not even on a tipsy night. I won't say a drunk night, but not on a tipsy night. I haven't been able to do it.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just got to run to you. Sometimes you got to just run to your kryptonite. You know what I mean?
I ain't got one. Even Superman had a weakness. You know what I'm saying? All of them got a weakness. Everybody got a weakness. You know what I'm saying? You just got to run into it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, never say no, You also got that one little thing that hit the escape to get up out of there. But yeah, I never have. And you also got to think about the fact that I'm not a clubber. I don't, and again, I don't regularly meet people like that. So I'm not. I don't do late nights, and you know what I'm saying. So my chances are slim anyway. But. Okay. Let me give you a hypothetical situation, right? Y'all sound just alike. Lord have mercy. Y'all sound just alike. So when your friends having a barbecue, right? Mm-hmm. And they say, hey, I got some friends, they're in town, they come up, to the barbecue. They say 4th of July or stuff, right? So you get there, you see a cat, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, damn, I like him. But he tell you, look, I'm only in town for, 2 days or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and you dig him or whatever, y'all vibe at the barbecue. And you just say, hey, begin to pass it up, let him go and go back home, or you go ahead and get your, you go ahead and get your treat home. I mean, I'm not that damn hard for sex now. Don't get it twisted. I ain't that hard for sex. I've had a scenario like that. But this is why the Lord bless us with planes and trains and all this, yeah. I've had a scenario happen like that, and he was thinking just like you was. You know, so you're just going to let the opportunity. And it kind of turned me off because he was throwing it out there, you know, as if he, like, the only man that exists. So I'm like, you know, and I had to break it down to him, and he respected it and understood it. But, you know, as time went on, he sent me a plane ticket, and, you know, and that's when everything took place. But, I mean, I'm just not that, you know, and I'm not bougie. I'm not stuck up. I don't know.
Well,
So how long did y'all interact though? You know what I'm saying? Like after the plane ticket and y'all boom, boom, boom. How long after that did it last?
It lasted for a good while until I found out he was married. But the job that he had, it caused him to be from state to state. But when he was in my hometown, he was there for a funeral, and he had family down there. So he was always, even after that, he would come back and forth. So he was back and forth, seeing me, back and forth, seeing family. And so we never really just lost touch, you know, physical touch maybe, you know, because he wasn't in town all the time. But he was always back and forth, and then it got to the point to where, you know, I kind of got comfortable and warmed up, and then he sent me a ticket, and I went down there and visited, or whatever, a time or two. But, you know, and it I don't know, even before I found out the whole marriage thing, it was just little things that started turning me off. Oh, yeah.
You must have been staying with your wife then. Your wife must have separated.
I don't even know. Like I say, his job caused him to be in and out of state, so he was rarely at home. Anyway, I never forget. He sent his daughter a car from way. I can't remember exactly where he was, but he had his daughter a car sent to her. But he was rarely at home, so you know he probably had somebody in every area code. And that was some of the things I started noticing, and I was like, you know, if he's doing it like this, then I'm not the only one, because, you know, which is why I never really made that a relationship. It was just, you know, just something to do at the time.
Yeah.
You flying him in like he for the NBA and stuff. You flying him in. Okay.
See,
Now, he was some type of high-grade electrician. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like for this one. He was an electrician for, I can't even remember exactly what it was. You know, what company it was, but it was like a high-demand job.
he probably was a utility. He probably was a utility lineman. Well, basically, he traveled state to state to work.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
I kind of, how should I put it? I feel like this. I don't think that. Well, I mean,
Skiing, riding, sledding, winter biking, winter hiking,
No matter how you Vermont, please Vermont safely.
cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, snowman building.
This year, that means a 7-day home quarantine with a negative COVID-19 test or a 14-day home quarantine with no symptoms to visit.
Snowball fighting, ice skating, ice climbing, ice fishing, ice cream eating,
So we can all Vermont safely this year.
dining, craft beering.
Talk to your favorite inner resort about smart travel suggestions, reservation policies, and the best way to Vermont this winter.
Hot cocoaing, antiquing, shopping, fireside napping.
For full COVID-19 travel guidance, visit VermontVacation.com.
All the last-minute gifts are on sale at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. Get 60% off almost everything. Shop new doorbusters, including gifts from $7, socks from $2, tees from $8, and more. Find it all at Gap Factory or GapFactory.com through December 24th. Cozy up for the holidays with 60% off everything at Banana Republic Factory, including soft sweaters, comfy pajamas, must-have gifts, and more from $9.99. Find your nearest store now, only at Banana Republic Factory.
and I'm gonna pick on your situation, so I'm gonna pick on you for a minute. So
You gonna pick on me?
I'm gonna pick on you. I feel like this here.
That's called bullying.
I feel like when it comes down to it, I think like we was talking about earlier, sometimes you gotta do something different to get different results. Now I'm not saying you gotta sleep with cats the first night, don't get me wrong. But like I said before, sometimes if you see and when you do get out, when you do start getting out and all that, I think if you see a cat you're interested in, I think it's nothing wrong with a woman making the first move. But like you were saying, you never done it, and something you confirmed was like, like most women, you're like, I'm just afraid of hearing the word no. And
yeah, see, that's my thing. My biggest fear is rejection. That's why I never approached.
And that's normal with women. I told a brother that one day, we was talking. Women don't want to be told no. For all of men's lives, we've been told, we want the, I remember back in high school, we wanted to date the beauty queen. Even if we got told no, we still gonna shoot our shot, And so women just, y'all just not used to that word. It's really how y'all design. You just not really used to that word. But when you live in a major city like this city right here, Dallas, you gotta remember women come on to men strong. And even me being married, I've had women literally come on to me in front of my wife. They don't give a damn.
Wow.
They don't give a damn.
I'm gonna be like you when I grow up.
Man, no, you don't. No. I mean, I remember me and my wife was at the car dealership a couple years ago, and this real pretty young girl, and she I forgot what she did, but I kind of checked her ass real good. And so next thing I know, I said, hey baby, me and the boys gonna sit in the truck while you talk about this car thing, see what our options are, So she texted me to your girlfriend on her way. I was like, my girlfriend, what? This girl made her way to give me water, be nice to me. I'm just like, your customers inside there, not out here. And I forgot who I was telling, but the majority of, and I know it sounds crazy, but when I see out here, especially out here, I'm talking about in the real streets, real world, a lot of women, they be wanting married dudes.
I've seen that crazy foolery.
Yes.
And I've also heard it, like, why? But see, a lot of people thrive off of drama, too. That's why they want that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they want that, which is really, really crazy. But yeah, like we were saying earlier, I just gotta step outside the box. I gotta get out more and switch up a little bit, and before I become elderly, I guess I do gotta switch some things up. But I mean, I just haven't really can't say that I just met that one to just make me like, okay, I'm about to give it up right here, right now. I haven't. I'm just being honest. I haven't. I mean, I done came across some excellence, and before we can even really just say, get to what we need, we had a dead end road. So I'm like, okay, on to the next one, That's the beauty of online dating. After something happens, you can block them and on to the next one. But I just gotta venture out more, I guess.
What? Let me ask you something. Has your online dating experience been more positive or negative?
Let me see. For start, it was half and half.
Okay.
Then I kind of rinsed off of it for about 6 months. I just, got out of the whole dating scene period until I got myself stable and settled and where I need to be and everything. I'm a little goals or whatever accomplished. And I got back in it, and it was about the same, half and half. So now I would say it's more positive because I've been on there. I just got back on like 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago. And it's been more positive. I've been, I haven't even had I had a couple of little crumb bombs. But, it's been more positive, even the approaches and everything. Mm-hmm. So yeah, lately it's been more good than bad.
I always feel like, and I would love for y'all to chime in on this. I always feel like it's kind of, when I see, people I know that was once married and they're single, I always feel like when they get out in the dating scene, I feel like it's rough out here. Would y'all agree?
Say that again, because I don't want to answer wrong.
No, I basically feel like out here it's rough being single nowadays. You think it's rough being single nowadays? It all depends. And then you gotta remember, you speaking from somebody you talking to somebody that's always secluded. If you out in my situation,
I won't say it's rough because once again, I'm not out there.
Yeah.
You know, but a person that's just out there looking or whatever, I can't really say. You know, that's usually out there or whatever, you know, out and about or maneuvering or whatever, I can't really say.
What you think, D? Talk to me, bro. Talk to me.
I mean, and just speaking from experience, you know, it has pros and cons. It has pros and cons, you know what I'm saying? Now, coming from, like I said, this coming from me now, my personal experience, the reason why I kind of like it is because, like, you come and going without having to, I guess, I don't want to say explain myself, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I can do what, you know what I'm saying, however I want to do whatever, you know what I'm saying? If I want to leave, whatever. But then the con of it is that, like, now you have to find ways to manage your time because, believe it or not, you've been at home by yourself, but now you start getting bored, so you got to find something to kind of keep yourself, you know, occupied. You know.
True. So you prefer being single?
You know what? I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, I do kind of like it. You know, but you know, there has been some days where you know you like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to go ahead and you know, be with, you know, try to be with somebody, right? But I mean, I kind of like it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do what I want, however I want, whenever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know, and that comes from someone who has been married before. You know what I'm saying? Who has been in relationships before.
Both of y'all been.
I know the difference between.
Both of y'all been married before. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I say both of y'all know that perspective. That's what's good. It's one thing if you're a single person and you've never been married, but both of y'all have been married before, which is why it was good to have both of y'all on this topic, because being married, you know, a lot of people don't understand. If you're married for over a year or two, that's a significant time, believe it or not. And I say that because when you're married, you are now merging two different personalities into one household. You know, you got two different ways of doing things, and you have to somehow figure out how to make that thing work. So I will never discount, you know, marriage. You know, a lot of times people, you know, ask me for marriage advice, and when I tell them, when I give them the real deal, they're like, what the fuck did he just say? And I always tell people, as far as marriage, and this is just me, I always say with marriage, if y'all not having sex, it ain't gonna work. Point blank, period. Because at the end of the day,
I mean, it's true. That plays a big role in the bond.
That plays a big role because I can honestly say, you know, now we've been married almost 14 years now, and most of my problems have been handled over, you know, we knock it out in the bedroom, and then we put our thinking caps on. You know, I know an old guy I used to work with, he told me, he said his father, he asked his dad, you know, Dad, how, you know, what's the best marriage advice? You know, me and my wife are having problems. How can we fix this? He said, I'll tell you what you do. Cut the lights off, and both of y'all get butt naked. He said, and I assure you, those problems will go away. And I laughed when he told me, but I got what he was saying, you know. And I always tell people, a lot of people, oh, it's about communication. And I always say, well, if y'all not handling business in the bedroom, I can't communicate with you. I'm frustrated, you know. So, you know, that's the best advice I give people. People like, man, can you give me any advice? I'm like, dude, I'm not qualified. This is what it is, plain and simple. So I would venture, and that's why I say, you know, this was a good topic, because, you know, when you're so used to, and especially, I think you was telling me earlier, you was like, you know, women need a man. I think you was telling me that. You was like, basically, you love having.
Yeah, that was me. I said a lot of women run around lying to them they don't need a man. Every woman needs a man. That's monetary or emotional.
That's right. That's right. Because studies have even shown that most women feel secure when a man is in the house. They feel secure.
Yeah, and that's true. That's true.
That's right, when a man is in the house. So when it goes back to what you were saying, you know, as far as how soon is too soon, I would just say, you know, I ain't gonna tell you, I'm not like Steve Harvey. I'm not gonna say 90-day wait and all that, but I would just say, you know, if it feels right, you know, do it. I mean, I'll never tell nobody what to do as far as their personal life, but I just know how I used to be, and I was pretty much get to the point. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, hey, what's up? You know, I'm like, what's up? Can we do this now? What's happening? You know, because I knew, you know, like you were saying, women know whether they want to sleep with you. They know that, you know. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think me and my wife dated for like 9 months. Then I was like, hey, let's get married. I'm like, hey, if I don't marry you now, I'm not gonna do this. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not doing it. I love you, and it feels right. I say, but if I don't marry you, it ain't happening. And so she was on board. But a lot of people say, that's not even romantic. I'm like, I'm a get to the point kind of person. So I feel like
spontaneous is best.
Yeah. So that's why I say I wouldn't necessarily negate a lot of the guys out, but I would say just keep an open mind, you know. And like I said, and I understand for you, a lot of this is still new to you. Believe it or not, it really is.
To me?
Yes.
Oh yeah, and I tell people that they be looking at me crazy. They be like, "Well, what you 40? It's new to you. It is new to me because you got to think about it." Like I said, I've only been in 2 relationships, but I spent the majority of my adulthood in the relationship. The first one was 16 years, the second was almost 6. But it's, you know what I'm saying, and then in between each, I still spent some time trying to, you know, get me back together to get myself ready for the next person that may come along. So it is, a lot of stuff is new to me, and that dating site has opened my eyes to a lot of things that I was clueless about, you know, because I was just, you know, just closed in to just those people or whatever.
What you got to say about all that, D?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, I've met all time. You know, I met the women who want you to wait, and I met the ones who, you know, they like you. And like I said before, I'm not saying that she can use whatever do, but I just kind of feel like, you know, you ain't that funny to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I can understand how you feel. You know what I'm saying? But I know how I feel about me too, right? So,
it's just a big man.
But yeah, you know, you ain't around for kids and up, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, don't miss the opportunity, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Coach just said, you know what I'm saying? You only get one shot at love, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I ain't one shot.
Hey, I got. Let's remember we was talking about earlier. We kind of touched on a little bit, but she made a good point about, you know, me and him were just talking about it too. Explain to her, man, why a lot of brothers, you know, it ain't that brothers don't like a slim woman, but why you think why you think a lot of brothers like thick sisters, man? We're really thick women, period. Why you think we like that, D?
Man, I've always been attracted to that, man. Thick women, man, you know, because I came around some I guess you say skin or whatever, but they don't have nothing, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean,
say they don't have nothing.
Yeah, you know, dude told me, this dude told me, said, man, I don't like women if I can see the shoulder blade.
It was crazy because I heard that too. I've heard a lot of stories about the slim chicks and why men don't prefer slim chicks. It's like some crazy funny stuff. Some dudes say they're painful to deal with and physically painful to deal with. Some like yeah, baby, when you hug them, you have to end up hugging yourself too, and it's all kind of stuff.
That elbow hit you in the middle of the night. Little sharp elbow, man. Yeah, it's painful, yeah. You know, the knees hit you with some things, them joints is sharp, you know what I'm saying? Because ain't no meat on them, man. Get your woman that's thick, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I thank the Lord for my good cornbread fed days. And that's good. I feel sorry for the slim chicks though. For real, I hear that. That's all I hear a lot of negative stuff about. A lot of it.
I mean,
And
oh, go ahead.
no, I was just pretty much just saying that.
I'm gonna tell you, I used to go to this strip club, and it was, and I'm gonna tell you, the women that get the most money are the curvy, big butt women. I mean, it was a little sister, and she had a pretty face, but she was so skinny, and she told me, she said, the lot of people don't spend money on me because they say I'm too skinny, you know, and I said, it ain't that they don't like you. I said, but a lot of men just like, you know, like a little meat, sweetheart, you know. And I wanted to tell her, you may want to get out this business right now because you're not making no money.
Yeah.
You know, you not making no money, and that, you know. And then you gotta look at nowadays. You got the IG models, the big butts, the big boobs, the little waist, the, you know, even a little gut. That's what men want. And people will talk all this, I don't like no big woman, I don't like no fat woman, but behind the scenes, you up in their inbox.
Yeah.
And that's so true. I don't know, one dude online though, he kind of boosted my self-esteem and my confidence. He told me I wasn't big enough. I said, you sure right. I'm over 200 pounds and I ain't big enough. You got that? You got that? And he was 5'1". I said, okay. You looking for you a rescue or somebody. I can't help you. I'm serious. I was like, what? That was the first time in my life I had ever heard. And he was like, he weighed 150 pounds soaking wet, standing at 6'4". And I said, well.
And see, I think a lot of cats that act like they don't, behind the scenes they do. You know, a lot of, like I was telling you earlier, a lot of guys that have become somewhat successful, got a good job, or they got are they like little nerds and stuff like that. You know, a lot of these guys are socially awkward, and a lot of these guys are so used to, you know, a certain look, a certain, because I know me and D have been in the corporate game, you know, and in the corporate game, you know, especially amongst white dudes, it's not very favorable to have a woman, a plus size woman. It's not. So that right there, you got a lot of brothers that's out here trying to play the corporate game. It's a brother I listen to periodically on the internet, and he's a nice guy, but he's a cornball. You know, he's one of these brothers that, you know, he has a non-black wife. He talks funny. You know, he's really, really playing that corporate part. But I want to tell him so bad, the reason why you're not at the ladder you're at is because those non-black men are not happy with you having that non-black wife. So you think it's, you know, you was talking about fitness and all that, but, you know, you're kind of playing, you know, you coming up snake eyes, because at the end of the day, race is a big deal.
And it really is, especially nowadays. And I was even listening to one podcast, and it was a sister that came on a podcast talking to this guy, and this same guy's always talking about women need to be fit, but then he tells her, well, you're real, he's a black guy, and he's telling her, well, you know, you're kind of an awkwardly built black woman because black men like women with curves. And then he asked her, well, do you know, she said, I'm a vegan. He said, that's another negative thing going away because black men like eating meat. And then he said, you talk very proper. Do you even know how to play spades? And she's like, no. He said, see, you can't really fit in with black people. He said, can you play dominoes? She's like, no. He said, that's the problem right there. You're not relatable in your own culture. So wow. Culturally, it's like I said, amongst black men, you know, a lot of them, those, you know, at least the ones around my age group and older, we, for the most part, you know, are going to be honest about what we have and what we like.
But nowadays, a lot of these brothers, you know, they're trying to make it financially in the corporate and business world, and they have to put up this front. But I'm the kind of person, look, man, I gotta be true to myself. I gotta be true to myself, you know. And culturally, our women are bigger women. That's just what it is, you know. That you know, like I said before, I'm all about being healthy and all that. But at the end of the day, genetics plays parts in a lot of things, you know. So I think
it really does.
It really does. I know me and my wife, we talk about that. We talk about that a lot, about certain things with genetics and, you know. But I say, you know, I get that. Yeah, we should be healthy, but at the same token, a lot of things.
Skiing, riding, sledding, winter biking, winter hiking.
No matter how you Vermont, please Vermont safely.
Cross-country skiing, snowshoeing, snowmobiling, snowman building.
This year, that means a 7-day home quarantine with a negative COVID-19 test or a 14-day home quarantine with no symptoms to visit.
Snowball fighting, ice skating, ice climbing, ice fishing, ice cream eating.
So we can all Vermont safely this year.
Dining, craft beering.
Talk to your favorite inner resort about smart travel suggestions, reservation policies, and the best way to Vermont this winter.
Hot cocoaing, antiquing, shopping, fireside napping.
For full COVID-19 travel guidance, visit VermontVacation.com.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with the county's only cardiac surgery program, performing the most orthopedic procedures, all private rooms in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing, and the only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center in the state in partnership with Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Visit rwjbh.org/Hudson County. Jersey City Medical Center and RWJ Barnabas Health Facility.
You know, in our culture, it's just more acceptable. You know, it's just more acceptable, and that's that's why when you talked about that, I wholeheartedly knew where you were coming from. I'm like, man, that's just what brothers like. We just like that. You know, that's just something we like looking at. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just what it is. A joker, you know, I had a friend of mine, and he, you know, he didn't like women like that. And I'm like, dude, you weird, bro. I said, bro, deep down inside, you're not, you know, and he wasn't honest with himself. He just wasn't, you know. And like I said, dude, I'm all about health and fitness. I say, but at the end of the day, our women just have big butts and big boobs. It just do.
And it's natural. It's something we can't help.
It's something you can't help, you know. So that's my take on that, man. What you think about that?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Good. Both of y'all, either one of y'all chime in.
Well, you know, our women, they know it's being naturally enhanced. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like for having it all, I call it the TNA. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they never had the titties and ass.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, and like you say, it goes back to it is genetics too, because you gotta look around the family. Like, you know, well, I'm not gonna say the majority. Well, yeah, the majority of the women in our family, it's not all, are, you know, just talking women with shapes and sizes and curves and butts and hips and breasts. And all. So it's not, I don't care how hard you work at it or work out or what, you can tone it pretty much, which is all I can do. That's what now that's just all I do. I don't even worry about losing. I've been wearing the same thing forever.
Yeah.
So as long as I can remember. So all I do is just keep the tone and then shake. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
that's true. Cause you can alter the genetics. The only thing you can do is, like you said, kind of tone it up or whatever like that. But yeah, you can't really alter it though. Yeah, the genetics are your genetics.
That's right.
Yeah, you really can't. Unless you go on a crack diet, but you know.
Hell.
That ain't one of my things.
Hell, I knew one lady, she was supposed to be a crackhead. I'm like, where? I'm like, man, I thought crack supposed to make you lose weight. What happened to her? And
I know somebody like that.
yeah, I was like, I thought crack supposed to help you lose weight.
I know somebody just like that, and I don't think she lost a pound.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, what kind of crack is she on? You
She
know?
must eat while she be out looking for it, because I'm talking about she ain't lose nothing. Not an ounce.
Yeah, this crackhead, she was a functional crackhead. She had all her pretty teeth. I'm like, man, what kind of crack are you? The crack I know about, you lose your teeth, you lose weight. What crack are you smoking? Are you smoking on a good crack? Because the crack I know, man, your teeth supposed to be falling now. You supposed to be losing weight. You supposed to be scratching all the time. You ain't doing none of that.
I know, but I know a lot of people like that. Like we had our mailman, we had the same mailman for about almost 20 years, if not. It was right close to it. And he was a crackhead, but you would have never ever known it. You would have never known it.
Wow.
But he even, if you look at his vehicles and his home and everything, you would have never known it because he never fell short. So I guess he was just doing a good job with supporting his own habit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing the drugs, and he wasn't the drugs do him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Now, something else, man. We talked about D. We was talking. I'm kind of filling them in on what we talking about. So, we was talking about, let my boy know about how you feel about is a sugar daddy beneficial in 20?
By Mr. Lenny. Mr. Lenny and Mr. Willie Neal.
Yeah.
About the sugar daddy.
Yeah.
No, I was, the topic was, how would a sugar daddy be beneficial to you in 2020, or would it be beneficial? And I was saying, like, back in the days, when we was coming up, we knew the old man with all the 1,000 keys came over, with the men with the van, with the mini blinds and all that. Now, we knew he came over, and like he said, he dropped off a little pocket tag, but then we didn't know what was going on. But now, and then when I found out, as I was getting old, it was still like, I was disgusted because I'm thinking, they had to go saying like old men got worms and stuff. So I was like, I would have never considered, but now that I'm older and I'm not as shallow, and I was like, yeah, I'll take me a Mr. Lennon. It can be a cyber one, it can be, But, that's what we was talking about. We was talking about the old school, as long as he want no sugar. But he was like, well, what if he do want some sugar? He been paying for it and all this and the third. So I was like, I don't know. But that was a topic. Today, which it was good, though.
So the man coming through his own time.
Oh, Lord.
And he taking care of you. If you need care, you ain't gonna go ahead and give him a shot.
It depends on how old Mr. Lenny is, though.
Yeah, no.
And then you also gotta, that goes back, like, we gotta be conversating for a while. Cause I've never had a sugar daddy in my life, ever. So that's like an experience I gotta, kind of just hype myself up to get into. That's why I say, I ain't gonna say I won't do it. I ain't gonna say that, cause I wouldn't mind that sugar daddy. I need it. Right now, I need it in my life. But it's gonna have to be some time to come with it before we even, get to that point. Which is just as if it was somebody old, say if it was somebody younger, my age or younger, it'll come with time. It'll have to come with time.
So basically, I don't think the sugar that is paying for is a conversation. But he ain't getting no
sense. It's not you can say that, but No, not really, because like I was saying earlier, even with the younger guys, it's a wait process. I ain't say 3 months. I ain't putting them on 90-day probation. I just said it's a process.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you, it's just like working a new job. A lot of new jobs, you gotta work a week in the home. You know what I'm saying?
Week in the hole.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, don't let the man work a week in the hole, but don't let the man work forever. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna make him forever. That's why make him wait forever. That's why I say he's not gonna even wait 3 months. You can know a lot about a person within at least about 14 days. But a 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour time span, I can't see it.
But okay, now check this out now. Okay, now but check this out. See, now what if all he want is in exchange for his money, he want a little honey, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, as far as I guess his background or whatever, they're going to be kind of irrelevant, right? Because the only thing we're doing is fast change.
But who said Mr. Leonard was coming straight in spending money?
But see, now, okay, that's what you got to establish from the beginning. You got to let them know that, look, I ain't looking for nothing serious, man. You know what I'm saying? You just, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you come in.
Yeah, that's why I say it comes with time. I got to get some more. That's why I say it comes with time. I got to get some loan first. As anybody else. But now, he not going to come in spending money because I want to figure it out. Because, you know, some of these Mr. Men is crazy, though, for real. Because I've matter of fact, my daughter co-worker, she had a sugar daddy. And I think it was like the third time he treated her out, he gave her some money or whatever.
Hold on, say that. Hold on. Say that one more time. You said your daughter co-worker?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to say, like, hold on now. Do I need to get involved?
I'm not. I even call y'all, look, I need a bun and this amount of time. No. No, her co-worker.
Okay.
But yeah, so they had went out on, you know, a few days or whatever. I guess they like about a third or fourth date. He gave us some money or whatever. He was much older. Matter of fact, she's younger than I am. I think she's like 32, 33, and I'm 40. But anyway, so, you know, they went out on a little date. He gave us some money. So, she got a boyfriend and they had got that established. But he didn't give her the money, so everything flipped. The psycho side came out. He want to pop up at the job and, you know, and this, that, and the third, and then call her during the hours that he not supposed. And that was another one for our topic, too. But call her during the hours he wasn't supposed to. So, you know, and then it got to that point. It got to the point of her not, you know, moving at his command because he had gave her the money. Then he started, you know, getting kind of crazy with her. But yeah, so that's another reason why I was saying I got to get to know him, because the true enough they gonna want something for their money, but sometimes they do a little bit too much to get something for their money, like that scenario.
Hold on, wait a minute now. Now he gave her the money. Did she give him some honey?
It was the same day.
Oh.
It was the same day. Cause he called, they had, you know, she had lied like she was going to work that day, but she wasn't going to work. She went with Mrs. Lennon. They spent the day together, whatever. So by the time she go in her husband's mind, she at work. So by the time she get home, she had already told him about to head back home the 3rd. And matter of fact, she was here at the thing that we had, the seafood thing.
Oh, her. Okay. I know you're talking about.
Yeah, her. So you know, so she let it be known that she was about to go home and she was gonna be around here, don't call, you know, she'll be back at work the next day. But he called and he blew the phone up. So when she made it to work the next day, he was sitting in the parking lot. She had to open the store up. He was sitting in the parking lot. And it was like days consecutive he was doing this. And I was like, yeah. But you should have just cashed up him that money back and just don't worry about it. Because, see, it's stuff like that that's me.
Now, she has a man? Does she have a man also?
Yeah, she do.
Why was she... Okay, if she got a man, what she need a sugar daddy for?
Apparently he falling short. But see, he's younger than her. So the actual boyfriend is younger than her. So you know how that goes.
Yeah.
And the crazy way she met Mr. Lennon in the store buying clothes. He said he was buying clothes for his granddaughter, but you know, and this is a woman's clothing store we're talking about. He said he was buying clothes for his granddaughter.
Exactly. Why is he? That's kind of weird. You buying clothes for your granddaughter? I don't get that one.
I don't know. He probably was buying for another sugar mama or something. Who knows? But you know, and see, that's my thing. Like you can put that out there. We can get that establishment. But what are you gonna do after you give me this money? Like what all you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's another thing that scares me.
If I was him, as long as she do what she's supposed to do, don't broke me off. I broke her out. Hey, I ain't gonna calculate the next time to do it again.
Yeah, see, if we had that kind of establishment of understanding, then yeah. And that's what they were supposed to have had. But I don't know what made him flip when he put that money in her hand, but he did. He did.
You know what happened? She put that, man, she went above and beyond the Call of Duty.
I don't know, she probably was rubbing on them while they was at the restaurant or something. I don't know. But,
hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So they never had sex?
No. That's what I'm saying. That was like a one date.
But no wonder these properties are afraid that she's stealing. Don't she know for
no, just listen. The day that this happened, the day he gave her the money, she went to her job and had the boyfriend to come pick her up from work. He knew she had a boyfriend. He knew she didn't really have to work. The boyfriend thought she was at work, so he came and picked her up from work. Okay, so she let it be known he was on his way to come pick her up. The same day they had the date, the same day they got the money, he started acting crazy that same night. That same day last night.
Because he gave her the money, he ain't get nothing to change for. He felt like he done got played.
He knew this. So why you couldn't get this tomorrow? Or we set another date and we, you know what I'm saying? We arranged that. But you know I'm finna go home to my dude. And you know I'm not finna be able to talk to you and you're okay with it at the time. But then, I don't know. If I can't get the sex tonight, I'm gonna tell you, I can't give you the money tonight either because the way my bank account is set up, you won't let me. He knew that. He knew that. When he gave it to her, he knew that. I don't know if he felt playing that he gave her a little bit too much. He probably gave her some rent money, some bill money or something. And thought about it.
Yeah, he played himself.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. See, you know, hey, it's supposed to be COD. Cash on delivery.
You need to be on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start writing this stuff down.
Cash on delivery.
I can't give you this bread again. Hope you gonna come back a week from now and sell a little with me. You ain't got no shit to do it. You done got my money gone.
Oh Lord.
Nah. Well, I'm just glad he ain't know the physical address, but it's even worse that he knows, the address to her workplace, because she can probably her job, but, so he just won't.
And that's the thing we were talking about the other day, with the cyber sugar daddy, was that this young lady was like kind of upset because this guy had been financially sponsoring her for over 2 years, and when he finally wanted to meet up, she had a problem with it, and I equated that to me going to the car dealership, putting down on a brand new car, and never even receiving a car. So and that's why we had no respect for her. We were like, hey man, that's just disrespectful. Because this guy has been investing in you, and she even said that her sugar daddies, her tricks. I mean, she was just very explicit with it, or her passive income. And
wow.
I was just like, wow, this is really disrespectful, and I had no.
Ask her for that sugar daddy number.
She's on.
I'm just playing. But no, after 2 years, it was past time for her to meet him.
See?
Beyond time. Within a week, at least within a month. This man doing all that. I'm sure he do a whole lot in a month's time. I know you.
Yeah, and
he
that
on his way in and then some.
And that was our opinion. Like, hey, this guy he's put the money in. He's not a creep. Because a creep is not going to continually give you money without getting something in return. I just don't see. I've discovered one thing about life. If you want to know if somebody's serious, when they start putting money down, or they dead serious. So that's why, you know, that was my whole beef with it. You know, like I said, I don't go out here advocating, you know, women go get you a shit. No, I don't advocate that. But I'm a realist, and these are the things that are going on around us. And you know, I like talking about it. You know, and there's no point in acting like it doesn't exist, because it does. And something that we came to the conclusion to was that a lot of these younger generations just don't really respect the game. They don't.
That's true.
They don't respect the game. Like I said, 20, 30 years ago, like I said before, I have a family member. She had a sugar daddy for 2 decades. I mean, I would see him come over to my. Like I said, I don't want to put too much information out there, but I would see him come over to the house. You know, I really don't want to put too much information out there, but you know, when he come on by, you know, he give us a couple of dollars. All right, little nigga, go get you some ice cream. You know, we knew we get your
ice cream.
Hey, go get you a Hucklebuck, man. Go ahead. A little Hucklebuck money.
They favorite phrase. Go get your cold drink.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
most of the time they had him in the trunk of the car.
So now that I'm older, I understand what role that he played. I said, oh, that's what he was doing the whole time. Okay.
He over there killing himself. He used to say that though. They kept a cold full of him in the trunk. Yeah, go get your cold drink. Go look at the man in the car.
Go on get you a Faygo. Go on get you a Faygo at the store. Go ahead.
They might have a half-open bag of pork skins in the car.
So
yeah, that old man had it bad about that cold drink.
So you know, I understand. You know, looking back at it now, I understand what was going on. You know? But you know, 20, 30 years ago, a dollar, hell, just 15. No, I would say 25. That'd be 25 plus years ago. Man, you could get a lot done with $2 or $3 at the store.
Oh yes, indeed. Especially you going to Hub Decatur.
Yeah, Decatur. That's right. That's right. So that's why I'm like, okay, that's why he gave me that money. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, that was your hush money.
Yeah.
That was hush. That's right. What that was.
So so I under.
Just think about it. He got that key ring full of keys. Half of them don't go to nothing. And he got a security key. Only one for the car. The trunk don't work. He got to open it with a screw, with a flathead screw. You know how we used to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I ain't getting on here with y'all no more. Y'all crazy.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I understand that now. I get it now. But it's like, this chick here, man, even my mom had to call me, and my mom was like, yo, she is a bitch. Like, she is disrespectful. You know, she was like, I mean, the man paying you. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy, because, boy, look, we'd have been on trips and everything. I ain't lying to you. I'm talking about, we'd have been on flights, on trips. We'd have been to the Maldives, the Bora Bora, and hit cruises and everything. Where else you want to go? Yeah, we'd have been, by now, we'd have seen everything.
Yeah. I mean, hell, I even seen...
Taking that man money.
Yeah. I even seen a video
that's
with...
selfish. That's a different story.
That's what I'm saying. I even seen a video where Cardi B was trying to give out examples of women of how to get certain sugar daddies at these levels, and I'm like, Cardi's selling you women a pipe dream. She's lying to y'all. It just and she about to get divorced. She's selling y'all a pipe dream. That's not the reality, you know. But, you know, like I said before, the era I come from, it was just like, hey, we knew it went down. Nobody said nothing. We knew this guy had a full-fledged family. There was no, you know, there was no Facebook. There was no putting him on blast. So that's why I say, you know, it was respect involved back in those days. Not saying that what
it really was.
Yeah.
And they had respect for not only just you, but for the whole house, the whole household, the whole family. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Not that, you know, not that what he was doing was necessarily admirable, but that was just the norm. You know, but nowadays I just go ahead, D. Go ahead, bro.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I just assume now it's just like these young girls now, they're basically selling you a lie, and I don't appreciate that. I don't like that, you know. And I'm like I said, I'm married. I'm not no sugar daddy. I'm not doing none of that stuff. But the same token, if that's what a man has to do, I got no qualms with that. That's between him. That's between him and his maker. I got nothing to do with that. And my thing on her was that she was bragging about it. She was bragging about being a finesser, which means you're basically a con woman. You're a con artist. I don't respect that.
That's not cute.
And she even said, you know, we're honest finessers. I'm like, how are you an honest criminal? It doesn't exist. There's no such thing as
an honest finesser?
Honest finesser. She told her subscribers, hey, y'all, we honest finessers. So how are you an honest liar?
Oh, okay.
That doesn't make sense.
They got some honest bullets out here for you, too.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what, like, me and you was talking about earlier. You know, how we know people that come from small towns and they move to big cities and they figure out that same game don't work.
I wouldn't even bother.
What you say, D?
You know what I'm saying? You probably got 5 of them same type dudes. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Probably ain't never signed a W-2 in her life. That's crazy.
Well, I was telling D, because he asked the same thing you did. Like, does she have a job? I believe she does have a job because, you know, to get an apartment, you have to show a legal source of income out here in Dallas, Fort Worth. You know, you got to show some type of, you got to show some type of income. You have to, something legit. So I think she does have a regular 9-to-5. And like she said, when she gets money from her sugar daddies and her tricks, that's just, as she calls it, passive income.
Oh, wow, so she's sophisticated with it, huh?
Very, very sophisticated. She's not sloppy by any means at it. You know, like I said before, I'm just like, wow, she's actually bragging on this crap.
That's crazy. Now that's a whole nother something else. That's real retarded.
Oh, it's very retarded.
It was.
It's very retarded.
Oh, no, he probably still give it to her. He probably, you know, he don't care. You know?
He probably do, because now he got brainwashed. After 2 years, he brainwashed. He don't know nothing outside of him.
And I think one of the best, you know, y'all probably will agree with this, one of the best in sugar, and again, as a kid, I didn't quite understand it, but one of the best sugar daddies I know is Cudi from Dead Presidents. You remember Cudi? You know? Somebody got to do it.
Y'all crazy.
Cudi,
when you trying to get the girlfriend, get in the car, he said, I want you to meet. He just took off. I was like, man,
because, you know, when I was a kid, you know, I saw Dead Presidents. You know, I was all upset because, you know, he went to war. He came back, couldn't find a job, and he ended up, you know, he went to prison, you know, and you know, while he was at war, Cudi fooling with his girl and Cudi taking care of her, dropping money in her pocket. And he come back, you know, thinking everything the same. And, you know, Juanita, you know, she was a grown woman now, and she like, hey, I got these bills to pay. And Cuddy, you know, Cuddy dropped off $100. He called a yard, the first example, in the car, and skirted off. And he said, you know, somebody got a spoiler. Then Cuddy, you know, Cuddy approached him in the Cuddy left a little something for Juanita and Sarah in the apartment, and then Cuddy meets him downstairs, and he all, you know, mad, and Cuddy had to go and scuff him up a minute, you know, and he let him know. He said, man, you should be thanking me, man. You know, I put food on your table when you was at war. Now, man should get a little appreciation for that.
Yeah, I keep the bed warm.
I taught that girl. He said, I taught that girl tricks she would never be able to teach her. And you getting all that good loving. You can't even put food on your table.
Yeah, I'm so crazy.
You know, but here's the thing. Now that I'm older, I understand it now. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's the same with me too, because, you know, back then we were clueless or didn't understand why they did or whatever. And you know, you had that one auntie that every time, you know, Mr. Lenny came over, you were just broke, and Mr. Lenny gone. Now you find everybody something. We never really just understood what was going on, but, you know, but like you said,
Yeah, no more.
I know, right.
Where they going? Safeway?
Yeah, and that, I know, right. Mr. Lemon brought you $200 from bread and lunch meat. Yeah, something to hold us out till you come back from the store. Some bread, lunch meat, and that nasty juice that they sell at the fish market in a jug. And I hold you out till you come back from making groceries.
Oh,
they come back with groceries and about 3, 4, 40 ounces. Y'all know.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know, like I said, you know, it was a time where that, you know, that was understood. But like I said before, man, I just don't, you know, that video just really, and I forgot how I ran across it, but it was like, man, come on.
Yeah, but you got them out here that do it, and they think it's cute to use these men like that. You know, it's easy. I mean, if you're not gonna do right, but don't take it. You know.
That's right.
And see, I'm the same way. I'm not hard up for no money. Don't get me wrong. I have my financial issues. Nobody never know it. But it's not to the point to where I'm about to use somebody. Because one thing I am terrified of, and that's karma. So if I know I'm not going to be consistent with you or persistent in this right here, I'm not going to take your money. I'm just not going to do it.
That's right.
But, you know, you got...
Go ahead. You good.
You know, I was just about to say, you know, you got some that they just get a kick out of doing that. They think it's cute.
Yeah, that's not cute to me, you know. And like I said before, man, I don't respect people like that. And like I said, I'm not telling, you know, like I said, I'm not telling that young lady how she should live her life. Do what you do, but all I'm saying is you gotta have respect for some things.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
And like it's like you were saying, D, you gotta ask yourself who raised her.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that you have to pray and hope that they don't have no children. And that's another reason why I be mindful in my movie, because I got children and I got adult girls, and I know they watch my every move, so.
That's right.
You know, you gotta think outside of self.
And you know what? That's another good subject. That's another good topic. You know, why nowadays, you know, I see women, they get a man, they meet him, next thing you know, he watching their kids. You're like, hey, you just met this guy. Why do you think? What's your thoughts on that?
Me personally, if I meet somebody, and don't try to be bashing me, because I know friend over there bashing about the time span. But if I meet somebody, of course, it's going to have to be some time, you know, before I get to pursue. But if I'm not sure that I'm going to be with you, you're not meeting my children.
I respect that.
My kids don't know, but they only know the 2 men that, you know, they daddy and they mom after him. But, you know, and if I know that it's not going to be nothing with you, or I'm not for sure, then you does not be my children. You definitely not, because my children, they like me. They claim they take to people quick.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna have you meeting this person, and you take to him, you get used to him, and then he disappears. And they're like, well, such and such, and Mr. Such and such. And then here comes somebody else, and then no, we're not doing that. That's not what we're doing. And then, I bring these different men home like this, and they feel like, okay, when I get older, I'm gonna do the same thing. It's okay, I do the same thing Mama did. And it don't work like that.
That's right.
It don't work like that. But I don't think that's how it should be. You definitely not babysit.
That's right. Why? No, you telling the truth though.
Even though my children are old enough to keep themselves, but you got women that's coming back and that children not even listening. What you laughing at over there? I know you still laughing about that cold drink. Oh no, you definitely not babysitting at all.
Like I said, I mean,
for real, because it's people coming back to their children, dead or abused or something like that.
That's 100% right. That's 100% correct. Like I said, and I see this crap on Facebook, people that I personally know, and I'm like, you just met this dude, and he's already. I'm confused by that, because again, I come from a generation where, women just didn't bring no man around their kids.
Exactly.
And a lot of these dudes, how about, I don't date single moms, and everybody has.
That's something big on a dating site, and it's creepy to me.
Yeah, everybody has their preference, but a lot of that is just talk. That's all. That's all it is. And think about it. When I see women so quick to introduce their kids to, I'm like, what are you doing? Because you best believe most men that are single dads, at least the guys I know, because I know a few, they're not just bringing women around their children. I know that.
I've met a couple that's the same way.
They're the same way. And that's why I'm sitting back like, how do you just meet somebody and do that? And like I said before, generation before us, that was that was a no-no. You don't do that. Or if you did bring the man home, your kids were probably with grandma or with cousins. The kids didn't even know, they didn't see the guy.
Exactly. Yeah, they never saw him. All they know, they were getting Christmas gifts, and Mama was broke at first. But I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But no, that's the truth though, for real. That is the truth.
Yeah, that wasn't, like I said before, we live in a day now, it's just like, man, maybe I'm getting old. I'm like, is it just me or what?
Some of them things, just some things we just might not even understand. Everybody moves different, and everybody different. Everybody okay with certain stuff. And I don't know.
There's different morals and stuff, ain't it?
Yeah. So y'all have any closing remarks, man? I'm shoot, like I said, I'm this is my third podcast for the day, man. I had fun today, but I want to, close it out. We've been on for a little minute, and I definitely enjoy both. I enjoy having both of y'all on, and like I said before, we got to do this more, man. We really do.
Yeah, I enjoy it too. I enjoy it. Like I said earlier, I do it again anytime. Yeah. I ain't got no closing remarks. I'm just going to tell friends to go get yourself a cold drink.
You say what? What'd you say? What'd you say?
I said, so go get yourself a cold drink. Mr. Lenny. And I don't know why I call all sugar daddy's name Mr. Lenny to me. I don't know why that name just fits them all. Everybody's name is Mr. Lenny. You got one or two Mr. Willis, or Robert or something out of it.
Mr. Willie, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, the cat used to, give all us $1 and tell us to go to the stove. Go get y'all something. And I'm just like, okay, I wasn't thinking, but I'm like, hold on. That's what was going on back then.
And then at the same time, he was sending you to the store so he could get that little,
Yeah, get it in.
Like you say, get that little shot in.
Don't get that shot, man. Don't get that shot in.
Because, 9 times out of 10, you had to walk to the store anyway.
Yeah.
You got to walk back. So, yeah, he had no time to get the little shot in.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I enjoyed. You know, we're going to do this again. Like I said, y'all, y'all got topic ideas, let me know, man. Because like I said, we talk about everything over here. I had a lady, I was telling D earlier, I had a lady, I was on a professional, I was on LinkedIn, and she had made a post about how she got discriminated against. And I was like, hey, I love to invite you to the podcast. And, it's apparent she has no man because she just questioned everything. And I'm like, okay, no, I don't even want to interview you now because you're doing too much now. This is probably why you didn't get the job, because you're overthinking it. That's why you didn't get the job.
Yeah.
She overthought it.
Yeah, look, just the fact you single and deal with it.
Yeah, and I'm like, she asked me what is my target audience. I'm like, I don't have a target audience. See, you overthinking. I said, well, do you do podcasts? She says, no. I said, well, how you gonna tell me about a podcast? Well, I help people out. I said, but do you do one? No. Have a good day.
That's totally different.
Have a good day.
You know me. My mind always doing 100. So I even came up with another topic.
And you know what's
within the next few hours.
What's crazy is that this woman has, I want to say, a master's degree, but she lacks common sense.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you got them that got a ton of book sense and they got a lick of common sense on street sense.
No common sense.
They don't know nothing outside of a book.
Yeah.
I know plenty of those. Plenty.
Because I always tell people, a book is good, but you got to have some life experiences.
Yeah, that's true. Right. That's true.
You got to have life experiences. And that's something about the young generation I've noticed is that a lot of them, they're afraid to really live. They're afraid to go through everything. They got to research. I got to do this. I'm like, dude, you can do all that researching, but at the end of the day, you have to go through it. I always tell my wife, when I see some of the kids play football, I say, you got a lot of kids that are just good practicers. But when it come down to the game, they can't deliver. They good.
And that makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah, they good at practice. They good, but when it come down to their game, they hurt. They got a stomach ache. They got COVID-19 now. I'm like, well, hold on now. Come on, you was RG3 at practice. Now you don't want to play the game and help the team out? Like I said, I don't get it, man. The generation, like I said, I don't know if it's like you said, I don't know if it's the younger or older, what's up, but what I always say, we live in a society where down is up, left is now right, the sky is no longer blue, it's green. Cause I'm just like, man, what is wrong?
The earth is not flat, it's round, or the earth is not round, it's flat.
Yeah, it's flat, like what?
Stupid.
I mean, I even work with a lady that told me her son is a genius and got all these school invites. I said, but what schools he go to? Well, he don't go to no school. I said, well, he ain't a genius then. Yeah, he's not. He's not, like I said, but y'all keep sending the topics, man. I'm enjoying it, and the people enjoying it, and we out.
All right, I enjoy it.
All right.
All right.
You're making grilled cheese tonight. The store with the really, really good cheese closes at 7. If it's 12.1 miles away and work ends at 5:45 but rush hour picks up around 6:15, when's the latest you can leave for cheese? Don't know? Not to worry. Waze knows. Take a look at the traffic forecast and plan your drive ahead of time. Waze. Download and drive today. Your morning commute typically takes 25 minutes. If a 400 cubic foot dairy truck spills 2% milk on the freeway, causing you to take a detour and get stuck at a drawbridge for 20 minutes, how late will you be? Don't know? Well, good news. You don't have to, because Waze knows. With real-time traffic alerts from real Waze users, your ETA is always up to date. Waze. Download and drive today.